Hello there guys, it's me Unstable Voltage. Welcome back to the third video of my Planet Coaster series, where I'm just messing around with the alpha just to see what sort of things have been added in there. I decided to delete the roller coaster that I started building on the last video, mainly because I couldn't get it to work. Most probably because of my own ineptitude, and again, I will qualify it by saying that in this version of the alpha, the roller coasters aren't supposed to be included because the developers aren't currently satisfied with exactly how they're working, so that's why they're not in there yet, but I do have the code to activate them, so I shouldn't really be messing around with it. It was at my own risk. There are a few more rides we can build, those, a few things that we can go and have a look at, so we will take a look at some of those before we'll sort of try and maybe do something with the modular buildings. So we've got the hammer swing. This seems like an interesting type of ride. Let's go ahead and sort of twizzle this around a little bit, see where we can get it to fit in. Maybe that is not a completely bad spot to put it. There we go. So of course we need to do all the usual things. We need to go ahead and place a ride entrance. We'll put that on that side. We will put the exit on this side. We need to add a queue. So let's go ahead and do that. We've actually zoomed out quite a lot. This ride is a lot bigger than it looks. Let's just go ahead and sort of bring the queue back on itself somewhat. We need to add a ticket booth, of course, so let's go and put that down over here, and it should snap somewhere, and indeed it does. Let's carry on and get the queue to connect up, and it does quite nicely. And then, of course, we just want to grab ourselves an exit. Also, one thing I do like, look at the paving on the ride. And if I connect up a queue that is a different paving type, it changes the paving on the ride. That is something that is really cool. So it's a minor little touch, but it's actually really cool. Let's go ahead and open that ride up. We could also go ahead and build another ride while we are here. Let's go and move these rocks maybe just out of the way slightly. So you can intersect these items as well. You can sort of, you know, have them overlap each other, which is quite a cool little trick. So what other rides have we got? What else could we pop in on this side? What might be interesting? We have the Screaminator, which is one of those vertical drop things. There is also the Sunflare. Let's go for wow, that is a lot bigger than I expected that was going to be. Wow, holy Hannah, that is huge. Okay, maybe the Screaminator. There we go. That will actually fit in somewhere. That is absolutely colossal. Let's go ahead and place the entrance on that side. We will place the exit on this side, and that will just snap up for us automatically. And we want to add a queue. Of course we do. Let's just make it a bit of a windy queue, because that's how queues are. They zigzag backwards and forwards on each other, especially if you've ever been to Alton Towers in the UK. Let's go ahead and put the ticket booth in. And in fact, if we put the ticket booth there, it connects everything up for us quite nicely. We can turn it on, and that was a very, very quick ride placement. Okay, so hopefully now some of these people are going to make their way to these rides. Again, if we wanted to, we could put in some scenery. We've got some sort of like roller coaster type archways. These things are pretty cool. I like these. They are very, very big though, which is the sort of downside to them. But if you find a good spot that you can put them in that doesn't cover half of your rides, maybe not there, maybe if we go and try and get one in there. Yep, there we go. So now we've got a really cool sort of archway. I like that. That's really nice. There's like cranes and things, cargo. Most of this is the sort of the pirate themed stuff. And it shows you that by the actual props. So maybe they haven't added the props for the other stuff. But we've got trees and things and rocks and seaweed, and, you know, we can even put some palm trees in if we wanted to, although they're probably not really appropriate for this area. And we've got the signs and things we can put in. You know, we could a neon lit park sign, Planet Coaster set. So, you know, we could go ahead and just sort of put this in somewhere, put it down at the side of a pad. There we go. Lots of stuff that you can mess around with. Planet Coaster rail statue. You know, go ahead and pop that in somewhere. So, okay, these rides are both getting going now. Let's have a look at... let's look at this one first. So, is this thing... Well, it can't do a complete 360, of course, because of the rail on the top. Let's go ahead and have a look at the ride camera. That's probably not quite what we were expecting. Bear in mind, not all of the cameras have been sorted out yet on the alpha. And I cannot stress enough, what I'm playing here is an alpha version of the game. It's not even beta. They haven't even added everything yet. That should be obvious to a lot of people, but I find if you don't repeat it over and over again, and I'll be quite honest, even if you do repeat it over and over again, people seem to forget that the game is not finished. You know, that is... There's even no people on this ride if we actually try and look at it from here, but if we actually look at it, there are people on it. And are there people on it actually? No, it doesn't look like there are. No, there must be somebody on it. It's quite difficult to tell. But yeah, even if you do say to people, look, it is a beta, it isn't finished, some people don't always seem to realise that, and they'll start complaining, saying that something, you know, looks broken, or you can't do this, or that's missing. Yeah, because it's an unfinished game. Just deal with it. Look, the version number's up there in the top right-hand corner. It is version 0.1. It's not a final release version of the game. So, okay, I don't think there was actually anybody on the... Oh, no, there was like one person on the entire ride. So everybody else will fill that up now. So this thing's about to go and do something. Now, if this is the one I think it is, it's one of those ones that just goes really high and then drops. This one also seems to rotate as well. Let's go ahead and see if the cameras are set up for this one. There are some similar rides to this in the UK. I've been on one at the Blackpool Pleasure Beach, which is, I think that was the PlayStation ride actually. I'm not even sure if it's still there, it was a long time ago. Didn't rotate like the seats do on this one. You just basically had 3 seats on each side. And I'm trying to remember now if it was one of the ones that launched up into the air really quickly, or whether it was one of the ones that went up and dropped you. I think it was one of the ones that launched really quickly. Just shot you up into the air. Either way, you pretty much end up kissing your arse goodbye. But yeah, that is sort of the most common one that just sort of drops you down. One more of those rides that you'll queue for half an hour and then the entire ride lasts about 30 seconds. And that's just the way it is with some theme park rides. I know one of my favourite rides that I've ever been on, and I've been on it probably more times than any other ride, is Nemesis at Alton Towers in the UK. And during the busy season, you can queue up to 2 hours to get on that ride, and the time you actually spend on the ride is about 90 seconds, and out of that 90 seconds, 60 of those are actually going up the chain lift. So the actual roller coaster ride itself is only 30 seconds, but people will happily queue 2 hours for a 30-second thrill and then go and queue for it again. And, you know, it is a pretty cool thing to do. And again, I think that's going to be one of the things that people will try and do with a game like this, because they will have so much more freedom over how they can build the paths and the roller coasters. We will see a lot of people actually building real-world parks, real-world coasters, real-world... Wow. Interesting camera angle. Real-world sort of sections from parks, and sharing them using the game's inbuilt sort of content sharing facility, which I think is going to be really, really cool. So there's another ride. So let's have a quick look now at the sort of buildings. We can go in and we've got the walls. I'm surprised. Can we actually... Ah, we can make that larger. Brilliant. I'm actually surprised that there are no pre-built buildings. There are some things in here, like, you know, premium food shop, premium drink shop. I don't think we actually have the shops in the game at the moment, but we do appear to have the you know, the sort of the prefabs for them. We can go ahead and put in like that. If we actually go ahead and look at that, I don't think it actually is functional. Maybe it is. There's somebody in it. Oh, brilliant. So even though we don't actually have the shops button, people can actually go and get served here. So we do have a drinks shop. So that is something that I completely missed before. But what we can do now that we have that... well, people really want drinks, don't they? So what we can go and do now is if we go up to scenery, for example, this is the Cosmic Cow. We've got a Cosmic Cow logo here, and what we can do is we can put on the rotation snap there. And is this one that actually fits to the building? Difficult to tell sometimes exactly how these work. You can pretty much put them anywhere, but you know, it could go on the roof. So what we can do is we can rotate that this way. Hard to get it spot on because we're using that rotation snap and it won't align with the building. But if we go to about there and click, there you go. And we've now put that on the roof. And of course you've got like the banner. We could go ahead and put that down on the ground. So let's go ahead and turn that way. And you can really make things look quite nice. If we go back into the buildings now though, it might even be under decorations. Oh, wall signs, there we go. Wall signs for the Cosmic Cow. Cosmic Cow lit UFO sign. And you can put this directly onto a building. Maybe that one's a little bit on the large. That is a huge one. These are all huge. There we go. And then we can just go and go the dump and add that to the building. Brilliant. There we go. Not sure what all these bounding boxes are. Maybe that's as far as we can put stuff out. Chief Beef Tool sign. So we've got all of these different places. So we've probably got some other places we can build as well. Facilities, what do we have? So we've got a hat shop. We've got the premium drink, premium food. We've got toilets. Of course, you need toilets in a theme park. That is a very, very important factor that we kind of forgotten about. What's going on? Oh, yeah. I think that's because it would be built within the blueprint of this existing structure, which we don't want to do. We don't want it to be counted as part of that. We want it to be its own separate, independent thing. So we go back into buildings now, and we wanted to get some toilets. There's not really much you can do to make your toilets look attractive, but we can go ahead and pop those in there. You see, you can even build buildings sort of like next to each other or on top of each other. And sort of grid them all up. But I think having one lot of toilets there is probably enough. Let's just go and get out of that. And there we go. We can see that people will actually now go and use the toilets. So what were the other buildings that were in there then? We've got the toilets, another hat shop, drink shop. Oh, panelled, rendered, and sandstone. So that actually changes the front of the store. I see. Well, we haven't got a food shop, so let's go ahead and use the sandstone one. And just see how that looks. We need to find somewhere we can fit it in. Will it fit in here somewhere? There was just... Yep, there we go. So that's actually quite a nice looking front. This is the... can't remember what this guy's called now. If we go ahead and have a look in here at the wall signs. This is the Chief Beef. So we've got Chief Beef. Can we add that to the building somewhere? There we go. And already it looks like a much better shop. And of course the thing is, you look at this and think, well, hang on a minute. We've got a store here that looks really sort of out of place because it's just basically a box with a sort of store panel front. But think how some of these attractions actually work in some of these theme parks. And again, we've got a little bit of space that we can possibly use over here just to demonstrate this. So let's go ahead and we'll put one of those things in. We'll go ahead and grab one of the facilities. We'll go and use the hat shop because we don't have a hat shop already. So we will, now that it's actually loaded it in, we will turn this to face the path correctly. And we will place it in, I think we'll place it in here. Just get it to sort of snap to the path. There we go. The ride might be in the way slightly, but we'll see what we can do. So we've got our shop here, and then what we can do is we can go ahead and get some walls. And we can get some render walls. And what we can do with these, if I can get them to go in the right direction. Rotation snap. But what we can do is we can actually build these things in completely. How do I get it to go onto that wall? Stop being awkward. I mean, we could just sort of build the entire building in and enclose it completely inside this thing. I mean, that's the idea of these things. I'm just not too sure how I get this to rotate. Just hitting Z. There we go. So, you know, we can build these walls in. And if we wanted to, we could actually make this a larger structure than we currently have. So we could do this, for example. And then maybe what we want to do, we don't have a path going there yet, so I'll just do it this way, but we'll build these walls around here. And then we could have another building, say for example, we could have one of the toilets guest toilets. We'll have the render toilets with the archway. We will rotate them around. Won't let me put them in back to back for some reason. Oh, it's because we have that wall on the back of the place. There we go. So if we take that out and then rotate that around. There we go. So now you can have two buildings back to back. And this space isn't really being used for an awful lot. But what we could do then, if we wanted to, is we could go ahead and roof this all over. So we've got gable ends for the roof. We've got corner slopes. So we could go ahead and put these on. I haven't done a great service to some of these walls and how I've put them in. They're in the wrong places. So let's go ahead and sort the walls out first. Let's get rid of that. Let's go back to my walls. And these walls should be on the inside of the other... where were we? Rendered half wall. These walls should actually be there. They're sticking too far out. That's the problem. So you should be there. I think we're going to have... No, all the others should be fine. These ones are on the inside as well. Okay, they should be okay. We've probably made this a little bit bigger than we need to as well. So let's go ahead and just make it a little tiny bit smaller. And we'll grab those walls again. Build them on the inside. Then we'll go back to our roofs. We will find the corner slopes. So we'll put one there. We will... Oh, I had it right the second time. Put one there. One there. And we'll put one on this corner there. And then there should be a tiled roof slope. One there. And if we turn that one around... And there you go. We've just made ourselves a little building. Admittedly, it doesn't have any signage on there. This is our hat shop. So if we click on this and we go to... We see we could just duplicate it, the whole thing. But this counts as a single building. So we can go ahead and get some wall signs for it. So this is our hat shop. Do we have any signs for the hat shop? Doesn't look like we do. Maybe we do. Oh, there we go. Large hat sign. Maybe a little large. Hat's fantastic, you know. We could try and put that on to the side of the building somewhere. So not a smaller version of that, because that is absolutely colossal. And obviously there's one for the toilets as well. Okay, let's go for the one of these large, ridiculous ones then. So we can go ahead and just stick that on the side of the building, and then if we go ahead to the back of the building, this is where we've got the toilets. So we can go ahead and get the toilet sign here, and we can go ahead and put that on the back of the building there. And if this was in an area that we might want to theme, maybe we've got this in the pirate area, you know, we can go ahead and put like a skull on the wall there, and or even better still, actually, one I like a little bit better. If we can just go and get rid of that, we've got a skull and crossbones. Going to put that on the wall there as well. Really, really nice. And anything we build within this area will still count as being part of the building. So if we go ahead and build this sort of wooden bell tower, as long as that is in the area, it will still count as part of it. There's also some light boxes we can use. So we could go ahead and put in some lights over here. And we could use them to sort of light the store. You know, put these light boxes on the wall. Let's zoom in a little bit. Let's go ahead and sort of rotate one around. That's trying to go onto the side now because it's been a little bit weird. But, you know, we can just go ahead and have these lights sort of lighting up the store. We could go ahead and put one there. What we could do, of course, is we could go and get one of these ones and put it down here on the ground. At least we should be able to. Doesn't seem to quite want to let us put one in. Will snap to various things, but not necessarily where you want them to. But we should be able to light everything up. Netted glass float lantern. See, there's all sorts of... That is really weird. But yeah, there's quite a lot of stuff that you can do messing around with these as well. What else have we got? Wall extras. So these are things that you can have sort of sticking out of walls just to make things look a little bit better. Of course, you've got things like pipes, you've got columns, wooden posts and things like that. You can also sort of bevel the corners. You've got glass canopies. Not too sure how we get that in the right direction. But you could essentially put a canopy over the front of the store. What else have we got? Roofs, facilities, building attachments. So again, you've got things like these doors, and you can use these to sort of make the... That's not right. There we go. So we could go ahead, for example, and we could put a door on the side of this building. Now, even though that door doesn't actually go anywhere, it makes it look like it isn't just a random building that's just obfuscating some toilets and a hat shop. You know, we've got windows we could put in. We could go ahead and put in some of these sort of like barred cell things if we wanted. We could go ahead and sort of put some of these down here so it looks like that we've got some sort of dungeons and stuff down there as well. We could go, and we've pretty much run out of room now, but if we wanted to, we could go ahead and, yeah, let's go ahead and put like a cell in there. It looks like we've got cells. Shop awning Cosmic Cow, shop awning Planet Coaster, shop awning Chief Beef. Shop fascias. So what we could do with these things if we wanted to is we could take a shop fascia and actually place it right over the front of the store to actually change the colour of the storefront. We've also got this grand render, you know, we could go ahead and put that in if we wanted to. Let's go and drop that in there. It will sort of get in the way of that light box that we put in before, but that's not a problem. We can probably... No, it's the light box I want. Let me just move you... let's delete that. Let's go and delete the light box, and then we'll put that shop render back in there again. There we go. And then we could go and put something on the top of that if we wanted to as well. We could also go ahead and put like another sort of a... you know, prison cell bar in there as well. Wall-mounted cannon. And some of these things are actually animatronic, so as you can see, that cannon will pop out and fire from time to time. And we can go ahead and mount a lantern up here if we wanted to, or we could just go ahead and put on something like the skull. There you go. So then you take this entire building, and you can then save that, which you can then share online with your friends or just the community. You can, you know, put these things up online so they're public and anyone can download them. And you can just save it and use it yourself. So the next time I want to put down a hat shop and a toilet, I can just use this from my blueprints and stick it down somewhere. Now, obviously, this is just very rough. I've not really gone to, you know, it's basically a box with 2 shops in it and some stuff stuck on the walls. But you can actually build a lot of stuff if you actually think of the amount of walls you've got. Because I've just used normal walls. But you've got half-height walls, you've got arches, you've got curved walls as well. So you can actually put in bits of wall like that. So what we could do if we wanted to here is we could... In fact, let's actually edit the original building so it's all part of the same thing. So we'll click the building, we'll go to edit, and then we'll use some of these rendered half walls. What we could do now, if I can get the camera controls correct, is we can change these around like so. And, you know, make the front of the building a little bit more attractive. Let's turn that around. Now, it would be nice if we had the little white bits on the end there. They're probably in there somewhere, but I can't actually see them. But it does give you a lot of stuff that you can do. We've got some sail canopies here as well. So, you know, we could go and put the canopy over the front. We're a little bit too close to the thing, but, you know, we do have these canopies that we could use if we wanted to. So go ahead and just stick that canopy there. It's all part of the same building now. And you've got sandstone. Well, that's sandstone. Where's the rendered one? Well, there isn't a rendered one with the holes in. But you can put these things down, of course. You know, you can build castles. And there's so many things that you can do with these. You've also got glass walls as well. And glass archways and things you can do. But I actually really like this system. I really like the idea of being able to do this. Look at this. We've actually got a... We've got a pirate walking around. We've also got the, what's this, Chief Beef walking around as well. So these are the sort of park's entertainers. But no, I really like that. I think that is a very, very cool system. And this is the sort of biggest part of the alpha, which they're currently testing at the moment. This is this sort of modular system. So we've got all the facilities, got different types of roofing as well, so you can do sort of curved corners, wooden flat roofs. We've been through some of the stuff that you can put on here. Roof moulding, square corners, you know, curves, iron scaffolding wall support, so you can put these things up against walls to make it look like it's holding the wall up. I mean, obviously it doesn't actually have any sort of real structure to it. It doesn't do anything, but it's there for decoration like all of this stuff is, which is really, really cool. Got some chimneys as well, so we could go ahead if we wanted to and put a chimney up here on the roof as well. So let's just go ahead and sort of pop that in. There we go. We now have a chimney on there. You know, we've got fences if we wanted to. We could go ahead and... did we not actually have the building selected? Get rid of that chimney. I think I was editing the building. Edit building. There we go. So, where was my chimney? Where did that go? Had it a minute ago. I've lost it. There it is. So, we can go ahead and put the chimney on there. Then we've got something like a wooden fence if we wanted to. So, we could go ahead and put these fences in place. You know, sort of keep people out. Go ahead and put another one around on this side. Sandstone watchtowers, you know, you could put these on a rooftop. They do sort of snap to angles, so sometimes they go a little bit weird, but there's a lot of interesting stuff that you can build, and I like it. Stone awnings, balconies as well. Could even put a balcony on something. You know, if we wanted to, go around here, put a we don't have a window there, but we could put a balcony and then go and grab a window and put a window there. Not that you'd have a balcony with a window. You'd normally have a balcony with a door, but still. You know, in just a few minutes we have made a very ugly and mismatched looking building, but it does show how the modular system works. And then, just to prove a point, if we want to, we can click on that now. We can go to duplicate, and then we've got that entire whole building that we can go to somewhere else in the park where we don't have that entire whole building, like here near the entrance. We can rotate it around, and we can go and... well, yeah, let's just do it there at that really obtuse angle. Go ahead and throw it down there, grab a path, connect it up, and there you go. I know the toilets aren't connected, but they aren't connected on the other one either. But that just shows you how easy it is to take a prefabricated building and go and make a copy of it. And, yeah, that is Planet Coaster. I might still do 1 or 2 more videos. There's a couple of rides we haven't looked at yet. But, like I said, there isn't a huge amount that you can do in the alpha, given the fact that there is no sort of facility at the moment for actually managing the park. You know, you've got infinite money, you don't have to worry about the guests' happiness, everything pretty much is just running smoothly. But the alpha's there to test the modular building, and no, I quite like it. I think once the game's actually released, I will probably spend a fair amount of time just sort of messing around building some of these buildings, and I'm sure there are going to be people who do nothing but make prefabricated buildings and upload them online, and there'll be huge libraries. There'll be some really talented people making user-generated content for this game. There's no doubt about that. So this has been Planet Coaster. Thanks a lot for watching, guys. I'll see you on the next video, and until then, goodbye for now.